Hit it.
Following live stream has been pre-recorded. Any special weather reports or tornado warnings that are present during this program should be checked within 30 minutes from your local television stations. Thank you. Live from Riverside, this is AJ&E News. Now reporting, AJ Baker and Ethan Jakowski.
Good evening, everyone. We have a very busy night to cover, and we are back after what seems to be 3 months. Welcome into the newscast. I'm AJ Baker.
And Ethan Jakowski. And Seamus, don't make us go on hiatus again.
Yes. So a lot has happened within the past few months that we have not been here. Just to go over quick recent events. ICE shootings, depressing. Catherine O'Hara is dead. We give praise to her family. But what mainly wanted me to start this back up again was the very mysterious and now crime scene disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah, and the sheriff's department found the sheriff department has a phone number if you find her, like recognize her. And I think that's
right.
We have lots of news sources to find out what happened.
Yes, in fact, I did not include any clips in this because I knew that so many people were covering it, that it would not make sense to just put one source on. So let me just give you a quick timeline at this point, what happened. She was reported missing on Sunday. She was last seen on Saturday night at 9:45 p.m. She didn't show up for her daily church service on Sunday.
Yeah, they think that she got kidnapped.
And they think that the family searched around the home, didn't find her, called 911. The sheriff's department looked into it. They saw things that were concerning, considered it a crime scene, and continued to kind of update press on that. We have been looking closely at that all the time throughout the past few days.
Right.
But so far, two things have come up. Well, really, three things have come up. One is that Nancy was taken against her will. That has been likely confirmed. Two, Nancy's pacemaker has stopped working on her Apple Watch, which is concerning because she's on life-dependent medication that she needs to live within 24 hours.
And then three, her blood found at Savannah Guthrie's missing mother's home as search continues sources.
Yeah, and then also another factor in her believed to be deceased possibly is a suspicious phone call tip was made to the Pima County Sheriff's Office. Also, CBS News has confirmed that a ransom note has been given to Guthrie's family. So that is just overall what's happening with that story. We do not know what's going to happen next. We do not know if she is deceased. We do not know if she is alive. We don't know what condition that she could possibly be in.
Right.
But for now, we will go back to we will definitely keep you updated. This will definitely be a just developing story for multiple days, it seems like. But now we go back to regular news with our back to forth thing, and because we both covered it, we are starting with Ethan today. So Ethan, go ahead.
Yep. And before I share that story, I just want you to guys know, if you recognize Savannah's mother, hold on, I gotta find that number. I know you guys won't recognize her, but if you guys recognize her, call. I don't know what the number was.
Yeah. So if somehow YouTube is pushing the algorithm, and you do happen to recognize or know of any of her whereabouts, any possibility, please dial anonymously or text anonymously. There are multiple ways to get in touch. They have more details on the case at 88crime.com. Again, that's 88crime.org. 88crime.org. Yes, 88crime.org. So visit that website for more information. Again, that's 88crime.org.
Yeah, or Pima County Sheriff Department at 520-351-4900. If you guys,
Yep.
if you guys,
Okay.
if you guys like recognize her or something. Anyways,
Yep.
Anyways, and more new, like, back to our story. I gotta find number 2. Give me a minute. Hey Siri, open Discord.
All right. While he finds the number.
I already found a number, AJ.
Oh.
Sure.
Okay. Oh yeah. So yeah, just. All right. So, Ethan, next story.
All right. So let's see. We got Jill Biden's ex-husband charged with murder of wife. Live now from Fox has a story.
Says we do have some breaking news. Former First Lady Jill Biden's ex-husband has been charged with the murder of his wife. Here's a post here from our very own Josh Breslow as we are learning more about this. A woman died after a domestic dispute call in New Castle County this past December, and now her husband is facing charges for her killing. This is all happening in Delaware. William Stevenson, 77 years old, is charged with first-degree murder in the death of his 64-year-old wife, Linda Stevenson, after a weeks-long investigation. Linda was found unresponsive on the living room floor after officers responded to a home there on Idlewood Road for a domestic dispute call back in December 28th of 2025. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, on Monday, Williams was taken into custody at the same home. He was committed to the Howard Young Correctional Institution after failing to post $500,000 cash bail. We also do know TMZ reports that William Stevenson, Linda's husband, was previously married to the former First Lady Jill Biden, as we have been sharing here with you. He also opened a popular college bar near the University of Delaware called the Stone Balloon. But what we don't know right now is the cause and manner of Linda's death have yet to be released. So this is all just coming in here from our Fox team. And we did want to share it here with you as this is developing. Once again, former First Lady Jill Biden's ex-husband charged with the murder of his wife. We will continue to follow this here on Live Now from Fox.
And that was Live Now from Fox with that story. And now we go to AJ. There you are. And now we go to AJ with this next story, which is, I think, pretty tragic. I can't hear you, AJ.
There we go. My mic is on. It has switches anyway.
Don't tell me you did this.
With my next story, again, ice things. The ice, things have been going on with ice, just, that's minimal. But recently, peace union protests have been occurring to try and defend the people who have recently been deceased by ice. We have 2 stories coming out of this. This is from Oregon. We will have a general story here in just a moment. We also have a statement from the mayor that you will hear momentarily. But to start off with that, let me get the thing here. All right, here's the initial news story from Fox 11.
A chaotic scene once again this afternoon at the South Waterfront as federal agents fire tear gas and other chemical munitions at protesters calling for ICE to get out of Portland. This is the 10 o'clock news. I'm Ward Jollis. Tensions flaring just minutes after thousands of local union workers marched by the ICE facility demanding that ICE leave Portland. Fox 12's Abby Davis is live outside that ICE facility tonight. Abby, how are things looking right now?
Well, there is still a large crowd out here right now, and federal officers have been deploying chemical munitions off and on over the last several hours. I have my mask right here ready to go if things do get worse. Now, several protesters tell me they are willing to endure the tears, the coughing that comes with these munitions, if that's what it takes for them to stand up for what they believe in.
When workers are under attack, what do we do?
A massive show of unity Saturday afternoon.
Workers, give ICE a boot, defund, abolish, prosecute.
as thousands of Oregon workers gathered at a South Waterfront park, all sharing the same message.
Are people here prepared to be moderate on the abolition of ICE? Are people here prepared to shrink back from their moral responsibility to stand up for what's right?
Local unions organized the Labor Against ICE rally, denouncing recent violence by federal officers across the country.
Well, I think that the spark was the killing of our union brother, Alex Preddy, in Minneapolis. It's showing a message that we have to, as working class people, defend ourselves, and we can't rely on politicians. We can't even rely on the courts or even the police to protect us from these goons, these ICE thugs that are terrorizing our communities.
The group blocked traffic as they marched south to the ICE facility.
I think it shows how sick and tired people are of watching our community be attacked, dragged out of their homes, students being afraid to go to school, parents being afraid to take their kids to urgent care. It's ridiculous.
Shortly after they arrived, around 4:30, tensions escalated when protesters crossed the building's property line, approaching the security gate. Federal agents tear gassed the crowd.
We got out of the cloud just before it started to hit us.
Firing pepper balls and other chemical munitions.
We're still here. We're still trying to be strong. We're showing that we won't back down, even though they are trying to disperse us.
What happened today is not uncommon. We've seen agents fire irritants several times over the last few months to break up a crowd, especially when they get close to the building. I did reach out to Homeland Security for more information about when an agent may decide to fire munitions, but haven't heard back. Reporting near the South Waterfront, Abby Davis, Fox 12 Oregon.
All right, Abby, thank you. And Portland Mayor Keith Wilson and other local leaders are condemning ICE agents' use of chemical munitions with protesters tonight. Part of that statement reads, quote, "To those who continue to work for ICE, resign. To those who control this facility, leave. Through your use of violence and the trampling of the Constitution, you have lost all legitimacy and replaced it with shame." Hundreds of people in Beaverton were also marching in the streets today, demanding that ICE get out of Oregon. This was also part of the National Day of Protest happening across the country. Organizers were also calling for protesters to continue participating in ongoing boycotts against big tech and other businesses, and urging people to call their representatives and demand that ICE be abolished or defunded. Fox 12 spoke with one person about why they wanted to be there.
You know what? When Trump was first elected, I wanted to give him a chance. You know, I didn't like some of the things he said, but I thought, well, let's give him a chance. You know, people are really angry about killing the protesters. You know, I've noticed a big upsurge since Ms. Good was killed.
More protests are scheduled in that area tomorrow and throughout next week.
Okay, thank you. That was Fox 12 News reporting on that initial story. I know you heard a little bit of that statement from the mayor, was quoted, in that statement. For more information on that statement, here is ABC Oregon.
Now at 11, Portlanders continuing to gather across the city, rallying for ICE to leave following a month full of federal agent-related shootings locally and nationally. Some protesters walked, others biked, riding miles to honor lives lost to ICE detention, then connecting with union members ahead of another big rally. More residents at an apartment complex as well near the ICE facility are fed up with tear gas. We have more on what they want in terms of legal action against the Department of Homeland Security.
This is K2 News at 11 on your side.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for K2 News at 11, everyone. I'm Barry Mangold. We have a lot to get to after a busy Saturday. Today began with large protests in the Rose City, marching to the South Portland ICE facility to oppose immigration enforcement. Since then, though, we have seen tear gas, a scathing statement from the mayor, and a confrontation ending with a wheelchair-bound man being sent to a hospital. We're going to get to everything right now, beginning in South Portland, where Dozens of union members, including Teamsters and the Portland Association of Teachers, marched to the ICE facility from Elizabeth Carruthers Park. They say that they are using their most powerful weapon, withholding labor, to drive ICE out of the city. The demonstration also honored Alex Preddy, the man who was killed last weekend by federal agents in Minneapolis. Another event that may have forced you to stop in traffic for a little longer than you're used to today was bike riders meeting at Irving Park for a ride for all, a vigil for people murdered by ICE. They rode south to Elizabeth Carruthers Park as well, meeting those union protesters. Hundreds took part. You may have seen them up and down the East Bank Esplanade as well. And when all of those demonstrators met at the South Portland ICE facility, we saw roads were packed. Hundreds of people stopped traffic, even TriMet briefly, while they protested against ICE. Around 4:30, our crews captured the moments that agents fired chemicals and tear gas into the crowd, creating a large white cloud meant to break up the crowd. And tonight, Portland Mayor Keith Wilson is slamming ICE agents for using gas against peaceful protesters. Look at this. Wilson said in part, quote, "To those who continue to work for ICE, resign. To those who control the facility, leave. Through your use of violence and the trampling of the Constitution, you have lost all legitimacy and replaced it with shame. To those who continue to make these sickening decisions, go home, look in a mirror, and ask yourselves why you have gassed children." Wilson went on to say the city is working to impose a new ordinance that applies fees against detention facilities that use chemical agents, adding, quote, "The federal government must and will be held accountable."
Okay, thank you so much. That was ABC News Portland with that information. Obviously, they kind of delved more into that statement that was made. We thank them so much for that information. For our next story, we go over to Ethan. Ethan?
Oh, thank you, Prince. Hold on, I gotta find that doggone story. Okay. Stupid Discord. There we go. Okay, what are we at, number 4?
On Georgia, yep.
Okay. Anyways, so, alright, we're moving on. Georgia's Secretary of State said feds are relieving 2020 election with Fulton County raid. WPX2 has this story.
New at 6 o'clock, nearly a week after federal agents raided Fulton County's elections hub, we're hearing from Georgia's Secretary of State for the first time.
Channel 2's Richard Elliott is live at the state capitol tonight, where he had a one-on-one conversation with the secretary about federal agents seizing hundreds of boxes of data from the 2020 presidential election.
It is February 2nd. It is Groundhog Day, and you've probably seen the movie where Bill Murray lives that single day over and over again. Well, Brad Raffensperger said this whole thing is kind of like that movie with the Trump administration bringing up the 2020 election over and over again.
It's kind of interesting that it's today's Groundhog Day.
We spoke one-on-one with Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger about the FBI raid on the Fulton County Elections Hub and the seizure of 700 boxes of 2020 ballots and voter information. He says it's like the feds are in the movie Groundhog Day, still reliving the 2020 election even after multiple investigations prove there was no voter fraud. He also says he has no idea what the feds are looking for or why.
We probably know as much as you do because the search warrant that was issued is sealed, and so no details were provided to us or to the press or to Fulton County.
Atlanta Democratic lawmaker Tanya Miller condemned the raid, accusing the Trump administration of trying to influence the 2026 midterms.
They would not be doing this if they weren't absolutely afraid that if we have free and fair elections, they'd lose.
Raffensperger, who is running for the Republican nomination for governor, has his own 5-point plan for safe and secure elections in Georgia, including needing real ID to vote, citizenship verification, quick vote counts and audits, and clean voter lists. Atlanta Democratic lawmaker Sarah Draper believes Georgia has fair elections and accused the Trump administration of intentionally spreading chaos.
The system that we have is very, very good. It has been working for Georgians. They would not want to cause chaos in the elections if they weren't afraid of losing. That is the bottom line.
FBI Deputy Director Andrew Bailey was there at the raid, along with National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard. We learned from some media reports today that she was actually on the phone with President Trump while she was inside the Fulton County Elections Hub. We're live at the state capitol. Richard Elliott, Channel 2 Action News.
Now let's get more details on that raid we've been talking about. Channel 2 got exclusive access to the area where the FBI seized those ballots. We took you inside last week on Channel 2 Action News at 6. Fulton County Superior Court Clerk Shay Alexander was with agents for hours during that raid. She says she unlocked the cage containing the records they wanted and locked it again after they took them.
They took pallets. They took 24 pallets, which encompassed 656 boxes of 2020 election documents.
All from November?
November 2020.
And you can watch Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie's tour of the warehouse with Alexander. We have it up for you right now on WSBTV.com. Fulton County commissioners are split when it comes to what's next. Chairman Rob Pitt says right now there's no plan to file any motion or lawsuit after the raid. But Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. says the ballots should be returned and wants to file a motion to get them back. In the next 30 minutes, more on the raid and what it means for this election.
And that was WPX2 for that story. And now we got 2 more stories, don't we, AJ?
Actually, I have just added one more that I will be covering at the end of this. But also another story that I will be covering. The United States has shot down another Iranian drone, this time one also near an aircraft carrier. For more information on this, we go to CBS Evening News and their executives, starting with, excuse me, we go to CBS Evening News reporters, starting with Tony DeCopel.
We're going to turn now to the Middle East and the shots fired today in the Arabian Sea. A U.S. Navy fighter jet took out an Iranian attack drone aggressively approaching an American aircraft carrier, all according to a statement from U.S. Central Command. And that wasn't the only incident today. Charlie D'Agata has late developments.
U.S. officials tell CBS News an F-35 stealth fighter jet shot down the hostile Iranian Shahed drone in the Arabian Sea, a dramatic escalation amid soaring tensions between the two countries.
It was unmanned. It was acting aggressively towards our USS Lincoln, which we know that aircraft carrier is in the region at the direction of President Trump.
The Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier is the centerpiece of a dozen warships, including multiple guided missile destroyers and squadrons of fighter jets in the massive military buildup in the region. The Pentagon said one of those destroyers in a second incident came to the aid of a U.S.-flagged oil tanker that had been threatened by 2 Iranian boats and a drone. The military confrontations come amid threats by President Trump to attack Iran if the regime doesn't abandon its nuclear ambitions, and following a violent crackdown last month that left thousands of protesters dead.
They are negotiating. They'd like to do something, and we'll see if something is going to be done.
Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has warned of a regional conflict if the U.S. bombs again, as it did nearly 8 months ago.
So despite what happened today, the White House said already scheduled nuclear talks with the Iranians are still going ahead as scheduled. Mideast envoy Steve Witkoff is expected to meet with Iranian officials on Friday. Tony?
All right, Charlie, thank you very much.
All right, sorry about that. That was Tony DeCopel and others reporting on that story. Thank you so much. We have another story just coming in, but we will get to that later. For now, here's Ethan with our next story.
All right, thanks, AJ. Text message. Oops. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, back to Discord. There we go. Alright, so now number 6, I believe, right?
Yep.
Alright, Trump, alright, we got Trump administration sued to restore funding for Gateway Tunnel project. Pix News has the story.
It's another day on the job for crews building the Hudson River Tunnel on both sides of the river. But as of now, they don't know if they'll be back after Thursday. Carlos Ashura is president of the New York Building Congress.
It's not like saying, well, we're not coming back to the office for a few months, close the doors, shut the lights. No.
The project adds 2 new train tracks between New York and New Jersey. Now it all depends on what happens in the next few days in the U.S. Court of Federal Claims or at the White House. Last week, the Gateway Development Commission said it would have to stop working on February 6th without the federal funding.
Enough is enough. It's insanity. We just have to move forward. The feds need to release the money by Friday.
The project says it's used up its line of credit, and with no word or movement publicly from the Trump administration, they're now asking the judge to release the grant and loan funds for the Hudson Tunnel project. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill fought for it when she was in Congress.
But the goalposts keep moving. At the end of the day, it's illegal. He needs to release those funds.
The money has already been previously approved by Congress, and there's a contract. That's the project's argument. The public appeal is about jobs and the impact on commuters.
It's about getting home in time to pick your kids up from daycare or to go to a soccer game or sing along at school or to make dinner. All of these impacts have that ripple effect.
This is jobs. This is the economy. This is cleaning the environment. This is getting people off the roads and into trains. And if we don't have this project moving forward, we lose all that.
Before the close of business Tuesday, I did not get an updated statement from the White House. Earlier, the White House said it was up to Senator Schumer and the Democrats. There should be some kind of negotiation on illegal immigration. The project timeline doesn't have it done till 2035, but any delay could stretch it out and have it cost more. On the west side, Greg Mocker, Pix 11 News.
All right, Greg, thanks for that story. Now I think we have one more story, don't we?
We have 2 more, actually. I just sent you some information about your last one. All right. Something unusual that you can apparently only experience in Florida. Winter cold snaps are apparently causing iguanas to fall off of trees, impaling Florida citizens. I wish I was lying. With more information on this interesting sort of predicament, here is CBS 12 meteorologists.
Thanks, Al. Well, when the temperatures drop this low, there's a good chance you could come across a cold-stunned iguana. Wildlife officials say that they are getting reports and sightings all across the area, and they're asking people who find them to bring them to them for proper handling. CBS 12 News reporter Katie Benty joining us tonight from one of those drop-off locations, this one over in Tequesta with the details. Katie?
People always joke about iguanas falling from trees when it gets cold, but it's actually true. If you take a look over this way, these bags are filled with cold-stunned iguanas, and right here, these massive iguanas are just frozen. Now, FWC currently has about 400 here just today, and that number keeps going up. 5-year-old Roy McConville keeping count as the iguanas keep coming.
It's 7. 7 of them. There you go.
A Florida cold snap is leaving invasive green iguanas cold stunned, some falling straight out of trees. That's why they're ending up here at Florida Fish and Wildlife's drop-off site in Tequesta, one of just 5 statewide. For a limited time, FWC is allowing the public to collect cold-stunned iguanas without a permit.
Really fun.
Yeah, we had a good time. We found one right outside our garage in the morning and then one out front.
Officials say about 600 iguanas were dropped off Sunday in Palm Beach County alone. And this video from Broward County shows the scale, nearly 1,000 iguanas collected.
Very important because they're invasive, yes.
But, you know, I'm sure we're just scratching the surface.
For some, it's a rare opportunity.
They've been eating our vegetation.
If you see them at any other time, you can't really get close to them without them taking off. So this was like a fantastic opportunity to grab whatever you could.
But FWC warns while they look frozen, they can warm up fast.
When they wake up, they have claws, teeth, tails. You know, they could defend themselves.
As for Rory,
I didn't get to feel what they feel like.
Probably for the best. Now, the drop-off window did technically end at 4 p.m. There have been a few stragglers here and there, but moving forward, FWC says if you do need a removal, make sure to contact a licensed wildlife operator. Reporting into Cuesta, I'm Katie Benti, CBS 12 News.
I can't hear you again, AJ.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn my mic back on. Shameless. Anyway, thank you, Katie. That was CBS 12 News reporting from Florida. I am happy to say that this is our last story, but it's not really good. Ethan?
Traffic. I'm kidding. Local news. Alright, back to the news. It's a sad one. Oh my god, sorry about that. Anyways, like I said, it's a sad one. San Francisco, triple shooting, 15-year-old gunned down in front of sister. Fox 2 Orlando has the story.
And she was only 15 years old. A girl who was in the 10th grade at a San Francisco charter school has been identified as the victim who was killed in a triple shooting in the city's Western Addition neighborhood. And our crime reporter Henry Lee is live in studio after talking to the teen's loved ones. Henry?
Well, Claudine, she ran track, she enjoyed dancing and posting on TikTok, but now her loved ones and classmates are in mourning after she was shot and killed in front of her younger sister near a playground.
This is hard. Shouldn't have happened. She had a whole life ahead of her, only 15 years old.
Tiffany Mabry is heartbroken over the shooting death of her niece, 15-year-old Jada Mabry.
We'll never get Jada back. But I just feel like someone shouldn't be able to get away with it. It's not right. She didn't deserve that.
Jada was killed and 2 other teenagers wounded in a shooting at about 5 Friday afternoon near Golden Gate Avenue and Laguna Street near the Margaret S. Haywood Playground in the Western Addition. No arrests have been made. San Francisco police have not discussed the circumstances leading up to the shooting. Family and loved ones held a vigil at the scene on Sunday night. Jada was shot in front of her 14-year-old sister. The 2 siblings were inseparable, so much so that they were raised like twins. On Monday, this woman paid her respects at a memorial of candles and balloons in honor of a girl whose life was cut short too soon. Jada was a 10th grader at Gateway High School in San Francisco. Executive Director Alicia Montgomery said Jada was a cherished member of the school community whose loss is felt profoundly. Jada had been on the Bay Area Gators track and field team. This is her, third from the left, finishing first at a meet. And this is Jada in sunglasses and a purple outfit performing on a TikTok video.
Jada was just a ball of life. Like anybody that would be around her would remember her when they leave.
This should not be happening to a 15-year-old baby going to school, learning.
Pastor Jeffrey Branner Sr. knows the family.
It's just a bunch of ignorance, man, and we got to do better. We got to educate our children better. We got to give them a better sense of direction. We got to give them a foundation.
Jada would have turned 16 in July. The 2 other teens suffered wounds that were not life-threatening, and San Francisco police are asking anyone with information or video related to this triple shooting to contact investigators. Claudine.
It's certainly so tragic to lose someone so young. I know you said San Francisco police aren't talking about the circumstances, but certainly we know the other teenagers were there and her little sister was there. Do we know when they might talk about what may have happened in the moments before that shooting?
Unclear, Claudine. I feel they'll probably keep everything close to the chest if and until they find a suspect involved.
Yeah, certainly as that investigation continues. All right, thank you, Henry.
And that was Fox 2 Orlando with that. Claudine and Henry Lee, thanks for that story. I think that wraps it up too.
Yes, and that ends the broadcast. We have had some unique stories to cover. Just in the 3-month hiatus, yes, we are reaching the 35-minute mark.
35? You mean 34?
34-minute mark, possibly 35, I don't know. The time has just reached 9:54 p.m. Again, our tracking says 34 minutes and 8 seconds in counting. We thank you so much for welcoming us back into your homes once again in 3 months. We are busy people enough, but we finally carved out time to do this. And we look forward to more as we bring you more interesting stories right from the source. For now, I'm AJ Baker.
and Ethan Jakowski, and who knows, maybe tomorrow, Thursday, I don't know about Friday, because I have a doggone basketball game, and yeah, anyways, we'll find out. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Maybe we'll do more tomorrow. Anyways, alright, this is Ethan Jakowski and AJ Baker signing off. Good night.